You have reached Vader and Associates, formerly the Death Star, the Empire's premium service for planetary solutions. For the third straight year, all of our representatives are busy helping other callers. We'll be with you shortly.
What's up, YouTubeverse? It's your boy RB back again for another one. Did you see that game last night? Yo, Celtics are on the verge of history. Meanwhile, the Sixers are stuck between a rock and a hard place. Also, LeBron James isn't retiring, but Carmelo Anthony is. Nuance Machine, episode 29. Let's kick it. All right, before we get started, please hit that like and subscribe button. Also, check out my shop, breezysprints.com, where you can find all original designs printed on high-quality tees, tank tops, sweatshirts, and hoodies. All designs are done by yours truly, and without further ado, let's get right into it. So the Heat started the Eastern Conference Finals 3-0, and Jimmy Butler was serving L's left and right.
Please stop spitting us, Jimmy the Butler.
Not until you vomit.
Why?
You said you were too full to eat another L, so we're making room for more.
Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown came out and said this.
Feel very good about tonight. Don't let us get one.
I'm sorry.
No, just don't let us get one.
Things can change tonight, so don't let us get one.
And turns out they were right. The Celtics went on to win the next two games by a combined 30 points.
Wake up, Jimmy the Butler.
Sacre bleu, what is this?
You thought you were just gonna keep serving us L's? Nah, now it's your turn to eat them.
We didn't think you'd eat it willingly. That's why we jammed that tube up your nose. It's how they feed terrorists in Guantanamo Bay.
Please don't do this.
Down the tube.
No. Ah!
Ha, look at him choke.
And going into Game 6, it was clear that the Heat needed a sense of urgency from their stars, Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. And Jay Butt said that they were going to win Game 6.
But we're always going to stay positive, knowing that we can and we will win this series. So, like I always say, it's going to be all smiles. We're going to keep it very, very, very consistent, knowing that we are going to win the next game.
And then Jay Butt and Bam Adebayo both proceeded to have terrible games. Look, this is to all those people out there that were like, that's what you get. You shouldn't have been talking shit.
You shouldn't have been talking shit
about how you were going to win Game 6. Like, what was the guy supposed to say? Like, I don't know if we can win. I don't know. Maybe not. It's a toss-up. Like, if he had said something like that, y'all would be killing him, talking about how he can't be a leader because he doesn't believe that they can win. You should be saying, oh, you're definitely going to win. You should have that mindset. But if he doesn't have that mindset, then y'all kill. Like, anyway. I watched that whole game, and Jay Butt did kind of pull a James Harden a little bit there. And what I mean by that is that he would get into the lane like over and over and over again, and then he'd get to the rim and stop and pump fake once, twice, 3 times, pivot, try and find a teammate or chuck up a bad shot. Like, I don't understand the hesitancy. It's the same thing with Joel in that final Game 7. Like, the hesitancy is what killed them. It's like you can't go in there indecisive. It's not going to work. But anyway, despite both Jay Butt and Bam Adebayo having bad games, they were still in the game in the fourth quarter. In fact, they were going to win the game. They had it all wrapped up after Jimmy Butler hit these 3 free throws. Then
It's off to Smart for the 7th game.
Oh no!
on this game-winning shot by Derek White. Hold on, my bad. Wrong pick. There we go. This game-winning tip-in was just amazing. Amazing way to finish the game. Amazing way to force Game 7. But really, what I really liked about this final play, and this is something I feel like we don't talk about, or I feel like this is something that's not talked about enough. I really like how Marcus Smart shot the ball immediately. Like, they had 3 seconds. It's enough time for 1 or 2 dribbles and then a shot. And in most situations like that, it seems to me, from my point of view, that there's more of an emphasis on making sure the time runs out and that you get the very last shot than there is on getting a quality shot or having enough time to get a shot and get an offensive rebound and a putback. Like, it drives me insane. Like, the clock will just like run down to the very last second, and then they try and do a move and throw up something real quick. I'm like, guys, why not just try and get a good shot? Anyway, I digress. There was enough time for an offensive rebound. It was super quick. And look, also, I don't want to question Eric Spoelstra's, coaching abilities. He's one of the best coaches in the world, and who am I to question that? But I will tell you, I am a Kentucky basketball fan, and I still have flashbacks of 1992, Rick Pitino not putting anyone on Grant Hill.
Better shooting range. There's the pass to Leitner. Puts it up.
And so yeah, I guess Eric Spoelstra was thinking that there wouldn't be enough time for like a pass or a rebound or a putback. So there was more of an emphasis on making sure that Jason Tatum didn't get the ball, which they succeeded at. The ball went into Marcus Smart's hands instead. But it was very smart of Marcus Smart to shoot the ball immediately, because that gave them time for one shot at a tip in. And the ball just happened to land in the one position that they needed it to. And Derek White was smart to immediately crash the glass as soon as the shot was up. And yeah, just a great play, man. Just an overall great play. I can't wait for Game 7. This really woke me up. Like, I was halfway through an NBA playoff slumber because things got boring there for a second. But yeah, now this is an interesting scenario, because the Celtics will be the only team to come back from 3-0 if they win Game 7. The only team in NBA history. So we'll see what happens. All right, let's talk about these sorry-ass Sixers. All right, so we all know the Sixers season ended in absolute disaster in Game 7 versus the Celtics. And I wasn't even mad. Like, I had my moment after Game 6. I kind of figured we'd lose Game 7 because of the way that we lost Game 6. So after that embarrassing loss, the Sixers fired head coach Doc Rivers, and the entire NBA community kind of had a feeling this would happen, especially with this moment with James Harden.
How has your relationship been with Doc, and would you like to see him back?
I think our relationship is okay.
And then also James Harden declined his player option and is a free agent. And the rumors are strong that the Houston Rockets want to sign him. And the rumors are very strong that James Harden wants to leave Philly. So this puts the Sixers in such a tough spot. Like, it's going to require some serious magic to make this team better than it was this past year. I don't think it's possible. I really don't. There's rumors going around that the GM, Daryl Morey, fired Doc Rivers because James Harden wanted him fired. Also, Doc Rivers and Joel Embiid were very close, and the reports are is that Joel Embiid was not happy about the firing at all. Also, Daryl Morey has said that the number one priority this offseason is to re-sign James Harden, and I can tell you right now, that's not something Sixers fans really want to hear. Like, we're not exactly thrilled to hear that. But the thing is that we don't really have any other options. So we might be forced into signing James Harden. Because if the Sixers don't re-sign him, then it puts the team in a serious bind, because he can walk for nothing in return. Or he can just go to the Houston Rockets and the Sixers get nothing in return. So literally the only move that the Sixers can make is a sign and trade. And if Houston's that interested in James Harden, they don't need the Sixers to do a sign and trade. They can just sign him right out and give him a truckload of money. It really depends on what the Houston Rockets plan on doing with their young players, with their young talent. Because the Rockets have expressed interest in trading for another all-star player to pair with James Harden if they're able to get him. So why would the Rockets do a sign and trade if they can sign James Harden outright and then use their young players like Jalen Green, Kevin Porter, Ty Washington, trade them away for another star? History has shown us that when a superstar player leaves a franchise for nothing in return, that team tends to struggle for a few years to get back to where they were. And that's especially true in our case because the Sixers have no draft picks. We have none. Traded them all away. So we're literally being held hostage by James Harden here. Also, If you didn't know, Daryl Morey, the current GM of the Sixers, was the GM of the Houston Rockets back when James Harden was there. And Daryl Morey and James Harden kind of have this weird relationship, man. And I mean, like, BDSM weird. Like, Daryl Morey is James Harden's sub type of weird. Like, I'm not really sure why, but for some reason, Daryl Morey is completely infatuated with James Harden. I really did think that Daryl Morey gave away too much to get James Harden. Now, I understand that they were also trying to get rid of Ben Simmons, so, there's that situation. But I really did think that Daryl Morey gave away too much for him. But because he's so infatuated with James, it didn't matter. So, with the idea that James Harden got Doc Rivers fired, it's not crazy at all. Definitely possible. Actually, definitely likely, I would say. And so now there's rumors that Mike D'Antoni is on the list of possible coaching candidates, along with other names like Monty Williams, Nick Nurse, and Frank Vogel. Now, if you didn't know, Mike D'Antoni was the head coach where? The Houston Rockets. You're good. So, Daryl Morey is trying to do anything and everything possible to turn this team into the Philadelphia Rockets. He's trying to turn this team into the Houston Rockets .02. Yes, I said .02 purposely instead of 2.0 because this isn't going to work. This is going to be a disaster. If we hire Mike D'Antoni, it's going to be a disaster. Mike D'Antoni's teams are known for not playing any defense. His teams always put defense on the back burner. They'll have this explosive offense, but then give up a ton of points in return. And if this is the direction Daryl Morey's scoring with this team, it's just not going to work. It honestly, to me, looks like Daryl Morey doesn't really care about Embiid and what Embiid wants. He is catering to everything that James Harden wants because he's scared to death James Harden's going to leave. Please, James Harden, please don't leave me. Please, I'll hire Mike D'Antoni. I'll give you a 4-year max deal. Please, for the love of God, don't leave me. Please. This is pathetic, man. And let me tell you, I know that Joel Embiid did not play well in that series against the Celtics, but if you ask Philly fans who were choosing between Joel Embiid and James Harden, we're picking Joel Embiid 100 out of 100 times. So if Daryl Morey hires Mike D'Antoni and James Harden dips anyway, that would just be an absolute disaster. Like, that would be the worst case scenario.
What the hell? I'm dying. I am dying.
You're stuck with a mediocre coach with a mediocre roster. And it doesn't fit with Joel's style of play at all. Like, they're going to have to have Joel lose a ton of weight if he's going to run up and down the floor on a Mike D'Antoni team. So we'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye on this coaching search. We'll also keep an eye on what James Harden does in free agency. And we'll see how this works out. Carmelo Anthony is officially retired. And Carmelo is one of those all-time greats that never won a championship, but it sounds to me like he's totally okay with that. And I really respect his outlook on this. Like, oftentimes as fans, we put so much emphasis on how many rings someone's won. And if we feel like they haven't won enough rings, then we find that an excuse to disrespect them or to talk shit about them, And it's really messed up. Like, Carmelo Anthony is right. He won the game of life. Like, he came from the streets of Brooklyn to become a multimillionaire, the 9th all-time scorer in NBA history, and retire as an NBA great, as a Hall of Famer. Like, if that's not winning at life, I don't know what is. So, those people out there can talk as much crap as they want about, who's better than Carmelo and
Melo verbally telling his teams
when the season was postponed, I was heading to a She-Hoop series, as you hear Melo loud and clear.
Carmelo don't care. His life He had a good career, and I wish him all the best. It's going to be all for this one, guys. I'll see you on the next one.
Can't wait.
Love you guys. Peace.
Dark side, light this bitch up.
So the Heat started the Eastern Conference Final 3. So the Heat started the So the Heat started the Eastern Conference Finals 3-0. Specifically after this moment with John Morant. Ha.
Your estimated wait time is between 12 and 20 parsecs. Yes, we know it's a distance, you nerd.